Begin this Sunday morning, coming to you live from the U.S. Capitol, celebrating America's upcoming 250th birthday on July 4th. Congress first convened at the Capitol on November 17th in the year 1800, when the young, fledgling U.S. government relocated from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. Congress itself was established on March 4th, 1789, with the ratification of the U.S. Constitution. Today, almost 250 years later to the date, the United States is the beacon of the free world, the superpower economically and militarily, defending freedom across the globe and confronting totalitarian regimes seeking to harm America and her allies, which is where the U.S. finds itself today, as President Trump seeks to bring peace and stability to the Middle East, while also contending with the growing threat of communist China, whose president, Xi Jinping, is trying to supplant the United States as the dominant global superpower by the year 2049. All of this as a battle among Republicans intensifies, with the Senate unable or unwilling to fully pass the president's agenda. Join me now with more on what's at stake for America is the nation's 56th Speaker of the House, Congressman Mike Johnson, who is in his home district this weekend in Louisiana, meeting with constituents. Mr. Speaker, great to have you this morning. Welcome.
Maria, thanks so much. It's odd to see you there in my office. I'm heading back there this afternoon, but glad to be in Louisiana with some of the greatest people in the world.
Yeah, I'm here in your office. I was looking around. All the drawers are locked. I'm looking for the keys to see if I can start some trouble here, so I'll let you know what I find, Speaker.
That would be good trouble. You have access anywhere you want, Maria. And look, this truly is a very happy birthday celebration, as you noted at the outset. This is going to be an exciting week across our country, celebrating the greatest nation in the history of the world. It's not even close. And you and I know we talk about it all the time. As you noted, the most free, most successful, most powerful, most benevolent nation that has ever been. And it is our responsibility to steward that grand experiment in self-governance. We celebrate all that this week. It's going to be so exciting.
And we're so grateful for your leadership. Speaker, let's talk about where we've come from and what the founders envisioned. In God we trust, freedom and liberty. How do you assess the last 250 years? Tell us where we're coming from first.
Well, the experiment in self-governance has been a tremendous success, and the reason is because we're built upon these very firm foundations. This didn't happen by happenstance. It's because the founders studied and prayed and put together a matchless constitution, a system of government that followed, frankly, the admonitions of Scripture. The great statesman G.K. Chesterton once observed from Great Britain that America is the only nation in the world that was founded upon a creed, and he said it's listed with almost theological lucidity or clarity in the Declaration of Independence, which we celebrate this week. What is the creed? We hold these truths to be self-evident, the founders said. And what is a self-evident truth? It's something that's obvious. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. It doesn't say born equal, it says created equal, and that it is God, not the government, who gives us our inalienable rights. That foundational truth is what built America. It was the foundation of all of it, and is what we still celebrate and are fighting every day right now to preserve.
Yes, you're right, and you're doing that every day. And Speaker, I want to talk a little about where we're going. You are managing lots of different personalities in the Congress. You have a small margin to actually get the president's agenda passed. You had a rare bipartisan win with the housing bill, but of course now we're seeing that held up because of the president's threats to not sign it because he wants the Save America bill attached. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I met with the president for a few hours on Thursday in the Oval Office, and we talked about it in great detail. The housing bill really is a Republican priority because it will lower housing costs. We made a lot of promises to the voters, and we're fulfilling those every single day of this Congress. And this is a big part of that because it will increase the availability, the access to more housing, bring down cost, cut regulations, do the things that we know are very important for that market. The president and I talked about that at length. Of course, he wants to do all those things. I'm going to send the bill over to him. It's passed by both chambers. I'm sending it to him on Monday, and it will become law. And I certainly want him to take the biggest, boldest marker that he has and do that big Trump signature proudly on that legislation because we're delivering for the people, and that's what he wants to do.
But of course, more important to the president is the Save America Act. There was a real showdown in the House last week. Anna Paulina Luna saying she's not going to move anything forward from her vote because she wants the Senate to attach the Save America Act to whatever legislation they're pushing. Can you tell us what happened and whether or not you believe that can get across the finish line? I know you've passed it many times in the House.
We have, and the president and I laughed about it in the Oval last week. I told him, you know, Mr. President, I don't have any tattoos, but if I did, it'd say Save America on my shoulder, okay? We passed it 3 times in the House already. We're going to pass it again, and this time we're going to try to put it on a reconciliation bill, and the reason that's so important, Maria, as you know, is it prevents the necessity of 60 votes in the Senate. The Democrats want no part of this. And remember, this is very basic stuff. We're just going to make sure you have to have proof of citizenship to register to vote, and then show an ID when you turn out at the ballot box. These are 90-10 public opinion issues, and more than 70% of Democrats want to do it, but not the Democrats in the House and Senate. And so we've got to go around them. And I told Anna Paulina Luna and a couple other colleagues, I said, it makes no sense for us to shut down our good work in the House just because Senate Democrats refuse to do the people's will. We've got a lot more to do. We've got to keep it going.
Yeah, you're right. And the president also got involved, posting, saying, let's not blow everything up in the House because the Senate is not doing its job. The president, I assume, was responding to that same sentiment that you just raised.
He was. We talked about it when I was standing next to him when he truthed it. And the message was, listen, you know, don't turn the floor over to the radical left. That's what happens when the party in charge, the Republican Party, votes against its own rules to proceed with legislation. So, look, we'll get everybody together on Monday, tomorrow. We're bringing them all back. We got a big week ahead of us of work before you begin all the celebrations on the weekend. Much more left to do. We've got the National Defense Authorization Act. We have appropriations where we're spending less money and doing it more efficiently and effectively. We have the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act we've got to reauthorize. We've got the Surface Transportation Bill. Many really important pieces of legislation. And, of course, Reconciliation 3.0. I got to have everybody working here on all cylinders, and I'm excited to bring them back.
That is awesome. Well, I know the Senate is gone until July 13th. They left without even a budget released. It's hard to think anything really gets done beyond that $87.6 billion supplemental for defense, especially since the parliamentarian already said, look, you've got to prove that you're actually looking at spending cuts if you're going to put the Save America Act in there.
That's right, and we've been looking at that very carefully, and we'll send them over a provision that fits and passes the bird test, as they call it over there, with the parliamentarian. And look, I met with Leader Thune. He's a good man. He's got a big challenge on his hands, of course, and I've encouraged him to do everything possible within his power to move it. I believe he will, Maria. He understands how important that is as well. Election integrity is critical. It's central. You know, we talk about preserving the republic. You got to have free and fair elections in order to do that, and we can't allow big blue states and crooked, Democrat governors to try to steal elections away from us. And this is a very important measure, a common sense one, again, that the American people believe in and encourage and support.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we appreciate your integrity. You're at the wheel at this incredible moment in time. Congratulations and happy birthday, America. Thank you, Speaker Mike Johnson.
Thanks, Maria.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.